another episode of The Misfits.
We're nifty, we're thrifty, we're older than 50.
Oh, hey everyone. I'm Liza.
And I'm Emma.
And she's over 50 apparently.
Apparently.
We're here to answer your motorcycle questions.
And other questions too.
And we've got another one.
Oh, have we?
Yes, an email came in. And this one is from Graham. He says, "Good evening from the UK."
Oh, blimey!
You know what? I don't think I can do justice.
Okay.
I think you should read this one.
Okay, well, you've got to start. It's
You have
not.
to apply the proper accent.
No, I will.
Don't make it sound Australian.
And it's not Graham, it's Graham. Graham, we pronounce it properly over there. Good evening from the UK. I have a question about inner tubes. Is there any benefit for paying extra for a heavy-duty tube if I don't go off-road too much? Full stop. Would they be okay at motorway speeds? That's freeway to you, dear.
Yes.
Say 90 miles per hour on my personal private test track Ossifer for a couple of hours, or would they generate too much heat? All the best, Graham.
So, that is a good question. And
It is a good question, Graham.
we use the heavy-duty tubes on our dirt bikes,
So
but
it's like unopened boxes. How exciting is this? So let's start with the smaller one first. This is an IRC, which is a division of NOAC motorcycle tube, and this is just a standard duty tube. So let's break it out of the box and see what we've got. Is this how they come in a box? Let's talk about inner tubes. The industry has gone to tubeless tyres in a big way in the last few years, and there's a reason for that. And the reason for that is if you pick up a nail in your tyre and it's got an inner tube in it, it's going to go bang, and your tyre's going to go flat instantly. In a tubeless tyre, it's going to go flat slowly. So why are inner tubes still around? Well, with a couple of exceptions of people who've sort of perfected the technology, and there's various ways of perfecting the technology. If your bike has wire wheels, it's got a tube in it. Now, all the BMW owners are going to say, but just hang on a minute, my bike's got wire wheels and it's got tubeless tyres. And I agree with you, and that's one of the two exceptions. But if you're riding a Super Tenere, if you're riding an Africa Twin, if you're blah, 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 it's got inner tubes. So, there you go. There's a standard duty tube. It has a valve here. And let's talk about these things, of how to do these things properly, because there's all sorts of crap talked about these. So, the first thing I do when I've got a brand new tube is I make sure that that is tight on the collar. Now you can see that there's actually a kind of thick, heavy-duty bit of rubber here, and this is bonded to it, and it's got this like little collar to make everything nice. But these kind of are never tightened up enough, so just give it a thing so it's tightened up. And then when you've fitted, inflated, that you lock down on the rim, so your rim is sandwiched there. I've seen people put the cap on and then use this as a kind of lock nut for the cap, and that isn't right. It's meant to be locked to the rim. But that's what a standard duty tube looks like. Any questions so far?
no?
No, it's black, it's round,
Yeah.
there's not much to it. So, here we have a Michelin Chambre à air super renforcée, because they're French, you see. So let's open the box. It's like Christmas, isn't it? Completely unopened. And let's see what we've got here.
Right away. It looks different.
Ooh, look at that. Now we can see, oh, it smells of rubber. It smells of burning rubber. So we can see that in a lot of ways it's very similar to the standard duty tube. We've still got this reinforced area here. We've still got the collar with the lock nut. We still have the secondary lock nut. You see, look, this one was loose already. So the first thing you want to do is take this off. Take that off. And so the first thing you want to do is lock that down tight so that can't pull out. So, as heavy duty as this is, if you get a nail in your tyre, that is going to go bang. If you get a nail in your tyre in this is going to go bang. So why is it heavy duty? Well, I shall tell you. What do dirt bikes do? They ride around in dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. So lots of rocks, changing direction, changing terrain. So the tyre itself is moving around a great deal.
Well, and also we ride with reduced air.
Exactly. The premium, if you're riding in dirt, anywhere between 10 and 15 psi is about where you want to be, depending on the terrain. A firmer terrain, you want about 15 psi. In really soft terrain, you want about 10. So there's a lot of movement in the tyre itself. And when the tyre's moving, it's abrading against the tube, and that's generating heat. So hence, you want a heavy-duty application for dirt. It's no surprise that this super heavy-duty tube has a dirt bike on the box, and it's a dirt bike size because that's what it's for. Do you know he's got a name? Did you know that?
The Michelin Man.
It is not the Michelin Man.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
It is not. Bagel, do you know his name?
No.
It's Monsieur Bib.
Beep.
Monsieur Bib.
Beep.
Yeah, so there you are. So, for a dirt application, so let's get down to Graham's question. He's riding a street bike. Now, he doesn't say what he's riding. However, we know it's quite big because it's capable of sustained speeds over 90 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's got some CC to it.
Let's take a guess. You think it's a Bandit?
Maybe.
Ooh.
But Bandits, you know, they have tubeless tyres. So maybe a super motard of some description. But
Okay.
the point is, it's got street tyres on it. And even if it's got dual sport tyres on it, they're inflated to street pressures.
Mhm.
So, if we project that further, there's not going to be a great deal of movement of the tyre and not a great deal of abrasion between the tyre and the tube. So there's not going to be a great deal of heat transfer and heat wear. That is going to give you exactly the same protection on the street as that. It's as simple as that. Also, don't be fooled in trying to use that stuff that keeps your tyre inflated if you get a
like
puncture.
slime.
It won't work in an inner tube. Don't be tempted to try and get that stuff that supposedly inflates your tyre after you've had a puncture. That won't work with a tube either.
I do have a question. Now that you've basically answered the question, in a road bike, there's no advantage. But I do have a question while we have these out. These both have metal stems.
Yes.
And many tubes come with a plastic stem. I've seen this.
I haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
No, not a tube, I think. I think a lot of tubeless tyres will have a rubber stem that you kind of
that's what
that
I'm
you
thinking
pull
of.
through, and that's got some flex to it. And the general rule of thumb, I mean, we're kind of getting off onto a topic about tubeless tyres, but if your bike's got rubber valve stems, generally it's very, very good practice. If you change your tyres, change your valves, because the rubber does deteriorate, and they're cheap as chips. I mean, at Seaside Superbikes, I think we charged $1 for them. So new tyres, just put new valves in. And again, with inner tubes, It's always good practice. This is made out of rubber, so it will deteriorate just with age.
That's why you stopped wearing your cat suit to the garage.
Exactly. That and the chafing.
When did you buy that? 1963?
1963, my
That was a good run for a cat suit.
I think so, but you know, the smell was getting pretty bad towards the end. When you change your tyre, generally it's always good practice to change your inner tube as well. But Graham, don't spend money on heavy duty tubes. There's no point. Use a good quality tube. My personal preference for tubes is either Michelin, they make a very, very good standard
Did
duty
you know they're
tube.
French?
Oui. Or Bridgestone, who are Japanese. But either way, get a good quality tube, save your money, don't get an extra heavy duty one, enjoy yourself, and don't get a speeding ticket there.
On your private track.
On your private track.
Wink, wink.
Lucky Graham! I suspect his private track is like Acacia Close.
Well, thank you very much for sending in that
Yeah,
email.
what a great question.
And we can answer your email. You can send it to us at askthemisfits, that's spelled,
MISSFITS.
@gmail.com. Anything motorcycle related, we are here to help you out. And don't forget to check out our podcast, Motorcycles and Misfits. I think we've answered another question.
It's been another great day here at the Recycle Garage.
It has. Let's get out of here.